So as I'm pulling into this grocery store, I'm thinking to myself, why do I grow figs? Here's a big reason why. Here's something to think about. Have you ever walked through a grocery store and realized there are no such things as fresh figs? Now you'll have rows and rows of apples, oranges, bananas, the occasional tropical fruit like pineapple or kiwi, but you're never going to see any figs. The reason behind that is because figs do not store well. Grocery stores are not going to pick it up as a product because they have a very short shelf life. And a lot of times what grocery stores decide to sell isn't dictated by what tastes the best or what is a good product, but whether or not it will store for a long time. So you'll see a lot of things like apples and oranges. You're not going to see anything that is very perishable. They lose money on that. So your number one reason for growing your own fig trees is it's because it's not easily accessible at the grocery store. The other reason is, well, figs are delicious and they can grow easily in your backyard in almost any climate. I mean, if you're in the super cold zone 5, yeah, it's going to need a little protection, but it's worth it, right? If you're in my zone, 8B in Seattle, you can leave it outside in the ground, and depending on the variety, you can get figs without too much protection. So that's why I grow figs. That's why you should too. The other reason why you should also grow figs is figs are actually really healthy for you. They're a good source of fiber, vitamin B6, minerals like copper, manganese, potassium, and pantothenic acid. So we are at the beginning of September, and all of my fig trees have pushed out a ton of new figs. Not all of them have done that, but about, I say 80% of them have pushed out new figs. I don't know if they'll all ripen here because, I don't know. September is going to be hit or miss. If it gets really chilly, then I'm going to have to clear some room in the greenhouse so we can have some additional heat. And if I have too many figs to fit in here, not all of them will have the benefit of a greenhouse to ripen in. So we'll have to see. I'm going to have to move out some of the figs that have already ripened and then move in some of the figs that are ripening. So that way they can ripen in time before the cold spell hits, which around in this area is actually not until about October. So right now, I mean, it's beautiful. We're hitting about mid-70s up to 80s, and it's the beginning of September. So, you know, we'll probably have another month or so for these figs to ripen. All right, for today, I've got 3 different kinds of figs for you. One, I have the Takoma violet that has been ripening here in the greenhouse. Now, typically I would bring it out to ripen, but the pot actually grew out roots from the bottom, and so kind of it's rooted itself into the ground in the greenhouse, and I don't want to pull it out and then do any damage to the roots while there's still fruit on there. 2, we have another LSU Tiger. This one's a little bit bigger. Delicious fig. I love that fig. And then 3, we have the Brandon Unknown main crop. So that's going to be exciting because the Brandon is actually discovered here in Seattle, and great fig. Gives you 2 crops, early Breba, early Maine. Great fig for the folks with short season. Okay, so let's start with the Takoma violet. Now this is a cutting that I started from my brother's tree. I believe it was no more than a year or 2 ago. And it's this one right here. So what it's done is it's pushed out roots and it's tapping into the ground. I don't have this ground covered, and it's using all the nutrients from that to push out just a tremendous amount of growth this year, as well as a lot of fruit. So look at that, those 2. I got 1 ripe in there, and then almost every single node here has fruit on it. Isn't that awesome? So let's go ahead and pick this guy. It is ready to go. Good looking fig. Love the cracking on the skin. The cracking on the skin here. Tie-dye. Let's pick the other two. Now this is the LSU Tiger. This guy we've already tried. I'm gonna pick him because he is ready, and it is larger than the other LSU Tigers that I've already picked off of this tree. So I want to weigh it and see what the difference is. Again, beautiful fig. I love this. Love this fig. Love the feel of it. Love the ribbing on here and the color. If you look at my grass here, it looks pretty dead, right? Kind of looks like something from California. That's because I don't water my grass. I hate taking care of grass. Spend thousands and thousands of dollars every single summer so that you can have green grass. It'll come back in the winter here. All right, let's look at the Brandon Street Unknown. Now, these are main crops. We are just into the beginning of September and it's already ripe. To me, this fig, I'm gonna save this one for another day. It's not completely ripe. This fig is a true winner here in the Pacific Northwest. It gives you 2 crops, early breva, early main crop. Be a good candidate for in-ground. The parent tree actually is grown in-ground in Seattle. Looks like the main crop's a little bit smaller than the breva, but that's pretty typical. Okay, you guys, this is why it's worth growing your own figs, because you can get ripe figs and eat them fresh off the tree just like this. So what we have here today is the LSU Tiger, Takoma Violet, and then the Brandon Street Unknown. Now these, you can see the color difference here. So take a look at this. So this ripened outside, nice kind of red and purple and orangey autumn color. This Takoma Violet usually would be black, but because it was in the greenhouse, it didn't develop that color, and the skin seems to be a little bit more delicate as well. So you can see all that cracking on there, which is actually really beautiful. And then the LSU Tiger, nice red purple color with the tip of orange and yellow at the top. Beautiful. Okay, so let's weigh these guys. LSU Tiger, this one is 45 grams. Takoma Violet, 34.3. And then the main crop on the Brandon Unknown, 16.1. So pretty super excited to eat these because I love all of these figs. I know what these two taste like. They're delicious. I know what the Takoma Violet tastes like. It's also delicious. And I just want to share that with you, so that you can assess whether or not you want to add these to your collection. Wow. LSU Tiger, man, that does not fail. Woo! Ooh, look at the color on that Takoma Violet, beautiful. And Brandon main crop. Okay, so I want to talk about why these 3 figs are special, to me at least. They are all cold hardy. Takoma Violet, that's spelled with a K instead of a C for you folks here in the Washington State area, is a cold hardy fig. And so you can definitely grow these guys outside, and they should be able to ripen for you. And they ripen only 1 crop. They don't have a breva. And I believe these originated from Herman out of New Jersey, and it's super cold over there, not like here in Seattle during the wintertime. We have kind of mild winter, so these work out pretty well. Let's talk about the LSU Tiger. Also a semi-cold hardy actually fig, and it's bigger. It's a good tasting fig. I love the color of it. I love the look and the texture behind this fig. The last time I tasted it, it's really good. And then the Brandon fig is special because it was actually discovered here in Seattle. I don't know what the exact variety is on it. I'm still trying to figure it out, but it does ripen 2 crops here. Breva, that's super early. Main crop, that's really early as well. So I technically could have picked this in August, and it would have been a main crop ripened August fig here in Seattle. Okay, so let's dive right into it and taste these guys, give them a score, find out first what the branded main crop taste is like. If you let these guys go a long time, they get this winey taste to them because, you know, I guess it ferments a little bit, but right now I picked it at a very good stage. It's been ripened outside. Wow, that's good. So, probably could have done another day or so on the tree. It would have been a little bit sweeter. But these are a lot smaller than the Briba. It's still a good fig. Decent flavor to it. A little bit richer, actually, in the main crop. And then the Takoma Violet. I love the jelly-like inside of these. They look amazing. Oh yeah. Holy cow. That is good. That is so good. That's like a fresh burst of strawberry jam that's been pulled out of the fridge. Perfect amount of sweetness. A little bit of a acidic, actually, aftertone in the back of my throat, which is nice. A nice little compliment. Very, very good fig. Wow, that was tasty. I have a lot more of these to look forward to too because it's so productive. I mean, it's amazingly productive. And the LSU Tiger. Okay, let's take a look at the bottom of that. I'm gonna cut a little piece out of the eye. Looks a little funky. I'm gonna be safe than sorry. Oh, so good. LSU Tiger, this is the best one out of the three. Again, it has that kind of freshness to it. That sweet pops in your mouth. It leaves like a watermelon type of juiciness running all over your tongue. That's so good. That is amazingly good. Still, I just want every single like flavor and taste each time I've eaten it compared to the other figs that I've pulled off. So I think I'm going to grow more of these, propagate them, add them more, a couple more trees to the collection, so that way I can always have some kind of LSU Tiger around. That's so good. All right, you guys, thanks for watching the tasting video and why you should grow figs. Here's a couple of upcoming videos that are potentially, hopefully I can make sometime in the next month. I got my Longadute. Got the JFE Black Madeira. Socorro Black. These are all pushing out figs. Looking good. De La Gloria. Here's one that's probably going to ripen sometime soon. This is a Martin's Unknown. Beautiful looking purple elongated fig. Now, I've got this whole roll of figs right here that have figs on them. They're all green, but hopefully within the next couple of weeks they'll ripen. We actually have very decent weather forecasted here in Seattle. Perfect for figs, you know. Lots of sun and decent heat in the 70s to 80s. And hopefully that will translate to ripe figs, and then I get to make some more tasting videos for you. All right, you guys, well, thanks for tuning in. If you like what you see, please subscribe, and feel free to put in the comments of like what you want me to taste test as far as figs, or you know, any questions about propagating, or what figs that I think may not do well here in the Pacific Northwest, or figs that are on the chopping block. So anyhow, lots of different topics we could cover. Until the next time, see you guys.